at any given point, so it's a bit annoying.
The more I look at this OD,
Really good.
yeah, it's a really good game, and I feel like it might be an offlane OD.
I think so too.
And that should be pretty set in my opinion. But outside of that, definitely a very pre-Meteor Hammer game. The only stun that they have at the moment is the Boundless Strike of Monkey King. They do have the like Ravage, but that's way too high cooldown, and the potential of a Strength Morph Strike, that's not really going to happen too. So this should be a very free cast on the Meteor Hammer.
So do you like Queen of Pain mid or Queen of Pain position 4? I feel like that's the question at the moment.
Exactly, they're going to see the last pick and then they're going to decide based on that. Both options are fine. I think Ursa is an excellent last pick. He's a good one-to-one matchup against Tide in lane. He buys Diffusal Blade and eats all Morphling's mana. Also very useful against Monkey King, who is like a lot of what Nigma Galaxy have going for them here really gets countered by Diffusal, which I think they identified very well. And now that this is a Nature's Prophet last pick, this Prophet's going mid, so I honestly think Tundra should probably just put their Spirit Breaker mid here. And he has a lot of armor. They will pick it on 9.
Hey, Armen is playing Tide.
So
oh, never mind. They swapped it around. Okay.
So 9 going mid here makes a lot of sense to me on Quap. First of all, you can just buy that early Orchid, which is really important. You also have the Blink to just get out of that Sprout. That's going to be a nuisance early on. But that early Orchid is going to be very monumental in killing this Morph. They can really bring the pressure to him, I believe. And if 33 has a good lane, this early Meteor Hammer is going to do so much because this Nature's Prophet did not solve it either.
I don't think so. They're clearly with this adaptation, they're trying to swap away from having Tide against Ursa, but I think there's a possibility here that Tundra could put the Ursa mid and like actually just flat out follow the lane, because I think what was their 5 Quap Gyro probably lane fine against Nature's Prophet +1, or they could put the Quap with the Spirit Breaker in the top lane. There's plenty of options. I really like what Tundra are doing once again. I think it looks very flexible and they're very prepared.
I agree. I think their lanes are strong. They have low cooldowns. They should have no problem just snowballing again in the mid game. There's gonna be a struggle with Morphling to fight for him on this map, I would say.
I feel like we have got a little bit of a silver lining for Nigma Galaxy with the Nature's Prophet from Mind Control, because if they survive the laning stage somewhat, he can definitely take over a game. We've seen him do that before.
I think if Nature's Prophet gets a good timing and finds a couple of kills and gets an Orchid, that can be kind of a combo breaker, if you will, against what we're doing. So I think all eyes on Mind Control for this, especially because Armin's playing Tide. Like, he's not going to be a playmaker on a Tide Hunter. The hero doesn't work that way.
Well, let's go for it.
I was going to say, I think they needed something for that meme hammer, and I think it's going to do so much for Tundra this game, and they don't really have anything for it.
Will it be a 2-0 like Tundra's Twitter is saying?
No. Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, game 2 now between Nigma Galaxy and Tundra. And yeah, will they indeed look at these drafts? Can you sort of, give some sort of hope to the Nigma Galaxy fans out there? It's going to be a little...
It's a loaded question that you put on me. I'm now going to have to try and sell it. I think the easiest way to say it, I'm worried for Nigma once again due to the lack of control that they have, right? It's a Ravid, it's Boundless Strike, and then outside of that, it's depending on what items you buy to lock heroes down. And we've seen in game 1, they have so many stuns, so many ways to play this mid-game centric lineup. It could just punish them once again. So we see this Furin last pick, and people might go, well, Spirit Breaker is really good into Furin, Corp's really good into Furin, even Ursa with the Blink. Like, Tundra has ways to easily jump and find this kind of rat style of hero, but it's about the lane, right? Like, we are seeing Furin most likely be leaning into the Ursa. That should go well for them. Then you hope that the Tide mid can farm as well. Morphling into, can steal the flak from Gyro. If he levels it, support Gyro might not even bother leveling it in this game. But I can see Nigma, if they have good lanes, find a way to get that early Roshan and fight. But it's the same story as game 1, which it worries me a little bit. They're preemptively loading it up.
And GH would love to take this away, but...
Oh, so excited, ready? Okay. Oh, he's cancelling the animation. He's checking for the ward. He gets hit by the tower, snaking then. God.
The battle begins.
Sentry.
I will eat the cheese.
Concise.
Hey, is that bounty? Nice from our W towards GH.
He didn't see snaking deny the ward, so now will he stand there and place his sentry thinking, oh, I got myself a free.
I think he'll know that he denied.
you think?
Yeah, he's gonna know that Snaking took it out. He's
Just checking.
Gonna waste his time or his sentry.
Oh, okay. The clear. GH. Good game.
Yeah, he knows. So yeah, with these lane setups, guess no surprises here. That's what we expect to see. How are things gonna be up for us for you?
It's gonna be pretty rough. Simply because you have nice range actually there. Just because you have this OD eventually getting the hammer. Right now, it might be okay for Morphling to hit a couple creeps. As soon as you have this hammer come out, there isn't gonna be this innate support that has the stuff that stops the channeling, and Morphling is gonna need a quick morbid mask, retreat to the jungle, and move away.
Lane, Iron Man, of course, taking to mid this game with the Tide. Against the Quap, expect to sort of see Iron Man fare. Is this okay, survivable, or can 9 bully him out of this one?
It's kind of like a lane. So you think you can lane it because you have Kraken to get rid of the dagger, but if 9 just plays around, seeing the Kraken hit the refresh, then apply the dagger, I don't think Iron Man's going to have too much fun. And also you have to think about the fact that the rotation pretend like in this lane. If 9 gets an active rune, 9 then gets a kill. What's a mid-tide gonna do? It's gonna, you know, farm the small camp. He's not really gonna instantly rotate that explosive impact, which again Tundra's looking for, and hopefully won't, you know, be playing into. But Tundra, of course, will be making these moves. So very much they have to get out of lanes with some type of play, right? Either Fury TPing into a level 6 tide in mid lane with catapult wave, taking a tower. I guess realistically, Fury needs to kind of setting the pace of this early game with ping-ponging around the map.
And for Nigma Galaxy, you know, how much do you think this was sort of put into the thought of having the Tide mid when it was picked? Like, was it sort of snaking? It's going to be fine. Or was it very much a last-ditch sort of change up in the draft because the Ursa got through that may have been forgotten about, didn't want to put the Tide down bottom at all?
It does feel like, because they had the last pick, they could easily talk about it, but it does feel more like a little bit of a reaction. Yeah. Just because they are trying to get the most out of all lanes, and with heroes that had, like, this one pick wouldn't, you know, fix everything, right? Like when you pick 5 and you lack a little bit of control, you lack a little bit of this, right? It's quite difficult, but when you are playing this type of game, I think you won't mind control on a hero that he's comfortable, right? Like, just give him the Furium, let him make these plays, let him farm up the Storm, and hopefully he can maybe, you know, carry from the offlane, or enable the early game to give RTW an ability to carry himself. But yeah, it's interesting one. Nick has recently opted to try and opt away from cheap stuns and, you know, the kind of skirmishing of desires that other teams in Europe have been doing. Right now it's not working out, but maybe when Miracle's back and they're, you know, fire all cylinders, this type of, you know, could reign supreme. Again, it's hard to say.
Oh, Snaking, I swear Snaking's just had about 10 hits on GH today and get a single bash.
I think I saw a game the other day, Jack was watching. Spirit Breaker went 4-4-0. Didn't even level bash me.
Oh wow, that is... I mean, if you're not lucky...
Why bother? You know, if you're not a betting man, don't bother getting bash, but Snaking has bash.
Instantly cracking off, of course, and Snaking getting a few hits from the tower there. But he's fine. We've seen Snaking live on the edge of his seat last game. He's ready to do so again this time round. The water room close to get the kill. He will find it. Jumps in. There's first blood for Kuroki with the boundless strike. Nicely done.
And the of game 1 when Snaking with the same player Monkey King, no? Jumping from the triangle.
Yep. There was a river. Kuro, you know, showing he can make a Snaking and indeed that last game.
Yeah, Armin, he's doing pretty well in this game so far. You know, 29-2, a hero that doesn't really care too much about the rotation of Spirit Breaker. He has had to pump his net worth into regen a little bit. So
play.
Oh, 33 does go down.
Solid kill it. Nigma Galaxy, 2 kills to start off the action this game. Already looking like an improvement on what happened in game 1, where at this point already things were starting to look a little rough in the lane. So this time round, Nigma Galaxy with a much better grip across the map.
Yeah, they're just doing a nice job punishing. Like, Spirit Breaker's type of hero where if you do a bad charge, you can't defend your own lane, and then you're out of place, right? So he goes mid, doesn't get a kill, instantly Nigma, passive run at the offlane, stop him from playing Dota. And, you know, OD is nowhere near the hammer right now. He's still, he's 1,200 gold away, or 1,000, but it still very much is kind of mode farm for the off-lane show. They're not really hitting their peak right now.
Yeah, to maintain central control around here so he can play it freely with Shikuchi. See back in the mid. Now Iron Man, what's he going to go for this game? Getting the faded boots first after the soul ring. And then, I mean, yeah, bottom lane curve should be fine. On Skeeter with the Sprout. And some good control here for the Treants. Allowing Mind Control to get quite a bit of damage in. Just a little amount away. But yeah, what would you imagine to be the first big event in this game for Iron Man? Is he looking for sort of that blink rush, or is he building auras for the team? What's he doing?
I'd love for him just to be tanky and eat up the damage Tundra. So, you know, go Fade, go Hood, and then go like a Halberd to deal with like Ursa if he comes on top of him. Then you want the initiation, a blink refresher type situation. But yeah, very much allow Iron Man to just walk into the fight. Proki does go down bot lane.
Against a good micro from Mind Control, but not quite enough.
Radiant's middle
body
tower
blocks there
is
to
under
stop
attack.
Skeeter from getting away.
Yeah.
Top lane. They're going to go for trees. Use the Astral. They form a little short. Look at the adaptive strike. It dives from GH. GH with the tag gets the kill.
They have to find the kill bottom. And meanwhile, the reason why Ishri did die is because Snaking is charging into bot lane. Mind Control already low before Snaking even arrives.
Kuro will be able to get up into the trees in time. Tundra starting to hit back a little bit in this landing stage. Still overall though, Nigma Galaxy in the slightly better position at 7 minutes in.
This is really nice just because this is the type of game where if Ursa has a freeze up, he has Diffusal Blade. Ooh, no, he's fine. Diffusal Blade blink, then he can destroy the Morphling. But if Morphling can equal the items, you know, he gets a man.
Kuro's got to bound this.
Is he going to go for this?
He's
got a spring for 5. So
if he can keep chasing and go for the balance into the spring, he might be able to go for.
Oh, is he going to cancel the salvades? No.
I see Skeeter stabbing up and knows that there's not going to be an opportunity for him to take him down. Enough for the primal of Boundless.
A rare moment.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
CSGO.
What was that?
A rare moment where Iron dies. Unfortunate.
I will eat the cheese.
In a second.
Yeah.
In another second.
I will
There we go.
have flesh.
A carry bought his own salvo in.
He did. That was his own one.
How long has it been since the carry has bought their own regeneration? That is why Tundra's doing so well.
I mean, you know, he's in the zone. We saw him last game in KDA. So far, this game hasn't died. For the sort of brawling that Nigma Galaxy is bringing to him on the bottom lane, he's playing it very safe and sound here.
Oh, Mind Control. Oh, the first hit bash.
It's going to start the action off. He's into the tree. Skeeter is in there as well. And with the charge of the Rony, no chance for escape from Mind Control. Top lane. Smoke with the setup. No. He's ready to go. See what he can do with the lead in. With the ball turn. Half targets to go. Iron Man does have the Ravage available. See, I prepared to try and take the missile out. He's going to start shifting that strength up. Poking up Iron Man. He's got the ramp. If he feels threatened, Astral into the hammer. That's the timing down to the seal. Pop the damage, but that's not the Ravage you hope for. I remember Nigma Galaxy is dead tired, and even when he's back up, no Ravage to contribute for the next move Nigma Galaxy would look
I will
for.
eat the cheese.
Yeah, the start of that engagement, it was very much them running into the Tide and the Morphling, and hopefully maybe try to initiate, just pop the Ravage away. That could have gone a little bit better, but it doesn't work out. And then, you know, the product of that is Tundra.
Radiant's middle tower
Plays
is
the
under
annoying
attack.
fives. He paired up so well with that. Like, the rune for Tundra performs so well currently.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Damage on it and kills everyone. And Mind Control down as well. Like, the way in which they've broken down this split now, it is scary to play, right? Like, there is no Ravage. Mind Control's done 2-3 times in a row. It's kind of difficult, bro. He can just sit on the trees and kind of direct his troop to farm certain areas, but it's kind of difficult for the heroes to feel like their presence.
Oh, GH.
Very skilled.
Stepped into the hammer there. Gonna try and turn and chase down 33, but nothing. No. Quick time that was back away from that, especially with the TP coming in farther. Level 6 with the corner, and he's ready to fight. Mid lane, Iron Man stepping past Kuro by his outside. Top lane, the charge is coming in onto GH. He's already used the time lapse.
No ultimate breaker, so there we go. Can't be too cheeky and properly dive.
He's not going to be diving tier 2s quite yet.
Under attack.
Well, you never know with Tundra.
That's true.
It's like tier 15, so.
They weren't going past 3s with tier 1 still up last game.
Has fallen.
And if there was ever a hero to bait out for TPs, it would be Bulldoze air break, you know, getting deep in the base.
No, with the time, Snaking's now
Radiant's
got the 6
middle
ready for the
tower is
next
under
move.
attack.
And he's already looking for it.
Will he get back by Roshan? Ooh. No, I didn't.
Spotted out by GH. They know that he's coming in. RMN, he's a tough one to dive.
You know, luckily for Nigma right now, they're not actually reacting to this, right? Like, the charge is coming in, but they're not going, guys, let's set up and make the play. They are just farming, keeping it slow.
And they've got to be a little careful now. RMN will have the Ravage back up in 10.
Yeah.
See a smoke up from Nigma Galaxy. Actually, just from the 2 supports as they have their eyes on 33 top. See if the 2 of them can do it. And with the Primal Spring. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, goodbye. 33 back to base, and he's fine.
Agent Centaur coming in, the 6th man for Tundra.
And RMN's got to be a bit careful mid. They may have to burst with a Sonic Wave and a cooldown if they want to do it. But they'll hold back. RTW shuts his face as well as GH. Again, Tundra at the moment being very reserved with their diving.
But you can see, though, the itemization from Tundra. They're not playing a fast-paced type of game, right? I think specifically Quap. Not going for the ulti, going for a bit more tank. They're trying. Oh! Wait, does he get... He stays in the tree, no?
I think so, yeah. As they would throw his way towards the tree before the Astral comes.
Like, if you get glimpsed, you stay in the Astral. You don't get glimpsed back. So, like, that was kind of weird.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I feel like you should stay in the Astral.
Well, it's probably like Burrow Strike as well, right? If you get Astral mid Burrow Strike, you, probably you come out at the end of the Burrow Strike, right?
Should it work like that? Do you think if they've been able to press the button to get out,
press the button to get them,
but then they get caught, who do you think should be rewarded? The guy getting the catch or the guy getting out? Because currently the guy getting out gets rewarded. We keeping it that way?
I mean, if you get any sort of disable onto Monkey King when he's already jumping into a tree, do you always end up in the tree or the stun? There's a stun stop.
Yeah, he always goes tree.
He always gets to the tree. Right? So it's, you know, it's across the board works. So yeah, that's how the spell is. And you know, one of the reasons why Monkey King's so strong, right? You have that pretty reliable form of escape. As Kuro's demonstrating again, clearing out the mid lane, holding this tier 1 on his own right now. Yeah, he's defending the tower nicely.
Going back to the point of tankers, you know, Tundra, they are just waiting for their items to be able to play, right? Once Ursa has the Fusel Blade, they'll probably look towards Roshan. By the time that happens, Quap should have Sanj Kaya, Odie should have maybe like the Link Meteor Hammer. Like, they're all going to have these cheap items to then run at Nigma. And if you compare that, you know, Morphling will have maybe like a Yasha. Ursa will, Tidehunter might have a Blink if he's able to farm a lot. Like, it's a lot of waiting for Nigma. They need to be ready to contest Roshan with everything that they've got. Otherwise, this could be Tundra really kind of selling the lead that they slowly build it.
Looking pretty dead here. Okay. I mean,
why not?
I guess he's got an arcane ring, but still 90 seconds on the Sonic Wave.
They're really sending a message there.
I believe overkill is the word, but he went for it, no.
Nice scouting from Mind Control, of course, sending off one tree from his first spawn and then spawning a second one, just having 100% time vision in Roshan. Pretty cool.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, Skeeter with the Fusel. He'll be able to make the work of RMN. Team is coming in. Okay, Ravage will stop him from going down. RMN able to save his life. GH with the turnaround. Taking's going to go for the TV out. Won't get away with it. Mind Control's in with the damage. Team Nigma Galaxy can chase on for more here. GH has got his eyes on Fada. Kuroki had jumped in, but Skeeter's on top of him. They'll tear him down. Fada the cooldown. Good to go. RTW turns. Jaro comes to try and fight back. He'll be successful. Kills the Fada. Skeeter, he's still good to fight. Steps back in the stand as the Eclipse comes crashing down. Skeeter, does he want to go for another target? He's holding back for now. They'll leave at that, 2 for 2.
Quite a lot of spells, so no real kind of advantage gain. The main thing there for Nigma is now that there's no Ravage, Tundra are just going to be able to reset and go for that Roshan. Yeah, unfortunately for Nigma, not really able to contain the fight. I guess that's the main thing, right? Like with their type of heroes, they
scanning.
need to force Tundra to somehow retreat
Dyer's
and
middle
then
tower
catch them
is
like
under
one by
attack.
one within that retreat.
Radiant's
If they
bottom
utilize
tower is under
with a swarm, with a sprout, and the bounders, so they do have kill. It's just so hard. Like it needs to be just perfectly controlled. You see Tundra again. They play around that. They poke. They don't fully engage in these fights. They don't allow for 2-3 man ravages, like optimal ravages. And now they are trying to instantly poke at Roshan. Freeze. This little bit of vision is actually scaring Tundra. Nice little D ward here. Oh, unfortunately, Fodder cannot actually hit it.
Yeah, they're going to go back in though
Radiant's
with Ravage
middle tower is under
not
attack.
ready to threaten them.
Radiant
Skeeter knows he's going to have a solid chance of finishing off. We'll see if they can go for a snipe here or a steal. Nigma Galaxy.
You got this, Chief.
Radiant's middle tower.
They're not going to be able to try for it. And Tundra
Radiant's
finish it
middle
off, pick up the
tower
Aegis
is
on Skeeter.
I will eat the cheese.
Ace room bottled up as well for 9 for the next
Radiant's
engagement.
middle tower is under attack.
And still, he was actually pretty low. Normally Spirit Breaker is able to eke out a little bit more farm, but this game's going, he is just constantly throwing out charges to him.
That's a good setup.
X onto top, yeah, so it's also nice to see Spirit Breaker be played in a way that isn't just I have to hit creeps, I have to be this Shadow Blade hero. He's playing for his team, knowing that there is plenty of damage without him needing to find these items. This will now be the true test for Nigma in this series, because if they waste a Ravage, they probably will lose half their map. That's how devastating this timing is for Tundra right now, because they have that defusal, soon to be Blink, OD with Blink. Like, they've hit such a mid-game timing that Nigma needs to be so careful with how they take this next engagement. And in Micro, he has the Orchid available on the Furion, so potentially could punish, you know, an overextension, but
Had to try catch out Farder there, but Farder quick with the big pole. Out of reach and ready to reset here with the rest of the team. Smoke up from Tundra, they're straight to the triangle. They're going to try and find IL2W.
he is farming very defensively though. And also he's going Sanj and Yasha, so also not going well, standard starter, but he is itemizing for the fight as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under
We're in the mid. They're going to go for Merman. You see what his reaction's going to be. He's going to hold on to it for now and step out. Skeeter staying on top of Kuroki. The backup comes in. Actually turns out to watch GH instead. Set things up. The silence does come into play to stop immediate sanity from coming out. Tundra now starting to back off. Nigma Galaxy, they're trying to move Iron Man back in position. Would have the mana with the Soul Ring pop, but it's kind of low as well. Quite able to get back in. And they are still, of course, fighting into the Aegis on Skeeter.
Radiant's bottom
Try
tower
for
is under attack.
rune snipe there. We'll just have enough mana to get away with that Shikuchi. He's not going to be able to get far away though. 9 jumps in, finish off the kill. Mancho, watch for the side, they get the stop and sound. The Crossbear's trying to commit, but 9's tacking up to step out to the side. Arma getting burst though by the Sanity's Eclipse. RDW turns into the OD.
Radiant's
To use it against them. Snaking off to the side. He's looking for a new target. Oh no.
Dyer's
Take
middle
down.
tower is under attack.
Snaking charging out of the fight. Coming on to RDW. Silence coming out. With the Ravage, he has got the Earth. The Boundary Strike comes in. They've taken down Skeeter. But Arma will fall for this. Farder stays on top of RTW. They've lost mind control and RMN. Nigma Galaxy. I really want to pick up something else in return. They put their eyes on towards Farder. Wait for from RTW, but the charge comes in. RTW goes down. They get the kill on Farder, but it costs them their Morphling. As Nigma Galaxy try to continue to commit to get more out of it, but they lose their carry.
Oof, that fight, it lasted so long, but also started with Tundra kind of showcasing, even when they aren't able to connect with
But it's not over yet. Snaking. He's ready to start up some more action. Kuro.
That's done.
Be able to put a stop to that. Snaking is trying to step away from GH, but get him actually with the Nature's Wrap. The silence. All right. Be able to get 33 as well out of this one. Mind control helps turn the fight around. Comes in, picks up a double kill to end it up.
Like, this is the thing though, like this entire engagement was Tundra showcasing, if they don't actually clearly use their spells, Nigma is able to kind of kite and prolong the fights, right? You know, Weaver, he has the Yules to be able to deal with the status resist of Ursa. He enrages, bang, throw him into Yules, you can delay there. Our men get really nice positioning within the trees to kind of get the most optimal Ravage possible. Of course, Tundra did eventually win that fight, but it's the idea that they are playing with this confidence of trying to get a little bit more from every fight, where maybe if Nigma can keep punishing that to some degree, they can play into it. But again, it feels like Tundra, as soon as they know Ravage is down, they are just going to be grouping up and trying to, you know, play into it. If Tundra doesn't go aggressive, Nigma's like, well, how do we actually fight them? Like, if they smoke right now, they have to either ravage them or boundless strike them, right? Like, that is their kill threat, on top, of course, the damage required. So it is difficult for Nigma to take a fight. And if Tundra just reads that and goes, wait, guys, we can just, you know, farm one more item each and then not die to the ravage, they're going to be in a good spot. So.
Nine's close to his few hundred gold enough. The BKB done. Looking for GH here. The dust will catch him.
Cheeky little yours.
Warm. The TP out. He is away. Nice elusive moves there from GH. Mid lane 33. He's going to go for a bit of a setup. Quick wait from RTW will put a stop to the combo.
Yeah, really nice stuff. And now we see RTW's got the
Radiant's top tower
E-Blade in
is
his
under
quick buy.
attack.
Going for the axe as well. Just looking to try and get himself some type of explosive damage. Like right now, Nigma, if they can punish the aggression of Tundra, I think that's the main thing, right? I don't think we've seen a team go against Tundra and have a draft, which is like, if you walk into this area and you're not always 5, we will easily kill you. I think Tundra has been able to excel within the draft to ensure that they can play with their style and not be kind of hindered by these annoying style of defensive heroes. Even though it doesn't look that good, they actually do have very good defensive heroes through the vision of the Fear and Trees, through the vision of Monkey King, the annoyance of Weave Over Yules and Aghanims, the Titan. Like, they actually have really good heroes for this. And Morphling will scale really nicely into this game if they can overcome this hurdle of aggression. So, like, honestly, this isn't as bad as the first game, which is a great sign for Nigma.
Yeah, this is I think pretty much a big improvement on any of the games that Nigma Galaxy have had so far. Definitely they're solid as start, 22 minutes in, 1k lead. They're holding very nicely against the Tundra that has run over many teams in the past already at this stage. As it didn't last game.
It's still like this mid-game timing is still like threat for them, you know? If they die a couple times here, it should suddenly run away with it.
He's going to go down, get the Ravage off, but it's not really going to set up too much for Nigma Galaxy. It's Tundra, they'll back off, they lose Father. For the rest of the
is under attack.
Support for the mid.
Alright. I do love the fact that Morphling, when becoming another hero, can use their voice lines. I don't know if it's intended, but it's a very nice touch.
It's probably one of those things.
Oh, it
we'll leave that in.
Yeah.
Indeed, it's a nice thing.
Yeah, it's a banger.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower
So 500 gold away from BKB. Cop with a BKB. Like, they're looking rather healthy to take these engagements. But again, Nigma have done a really good job at being able to offer up RMN as this kind of like sacrificial lamb just long enough to then be able to get some turnaround kills. Once again, the Yules coming out. If you're ever playing against Spear Breaker, Yules destroys the hero. Against Ursa, pre-BKB, destroys the hero. Yules does not in any way take into account status resistance, so they will always be Cyclone for the entire duration, no matter if they have Boulders active or Enrage. Very good.
Yeah, the Shadow Blaze is going to be the difference maker. Once he has that done, he's going to have much more of a chance of closing the gap. Nine Fada on the hump, 5 seconds, the Sonic Wave's ready to go. They're going to jump straight away under the tower, look to burst correctly. Will be able to do so. The mid-start. Reaction coming in from Nigma Galaxy. We'll see what can do. Here's Tundra back off. As they back off, as the Skinner wants to get in onto RFM, but the disarm is out. Holding back the take from now. They'll turn towards GH, and they're bursting. Now the mid-start redirects to go towards RFM. It's going to work very nicely in their favor here as RFM stunned under the tower, finished up by the Sonic Wave, set up down the side. They're caught out for you. Skinner's in on top of it. The map's starting to get burned. He's got enough to get out the side. Runs to the left, gets to the high ground of Tundra. They're ready to go off. Snaky charge in the corner. Crashing down, and yet again, Tundra, they're diving tier 3s, they're fighting under tier 4s. Tier 1's the effect of that.
Oh, and the tier 1's still alive.
In 2 times, in 2 games here, Tundra, and this time Tundra doing it in a game that's it's even on the net worth. Tundra showing that, well, we may not be massively ahead, but when we see the opportunity to dive and get away with it, we absolutely will go for it, they say. And they do. Big dives, big kills.
Yeah, the beautiful layers to where the damage comes from, but also simplicity in which when they find hero, the ability to control control that hero is so clear, right? You've got Imprison, Charge, just jumping on them, and also the amount of angles they come from. The fight starts with KuroKy just dying underneath the tower, right? And that kind of unlocks the ability to, oh well, that half the stun's gone, Owen, so we can now continue forward. Suddenly, of course, you know, RMN dies, and guess what? It's free game. Already had the BKB, quickly getting into that Blink Dagger. And now Tundra will probably be sweeping across the map, looking for pickoffs whenever they need, and then going towards Roshan. And, you know, the Tidehunter did actually do the build, the phase, the hood, the halberd. Very much going defensive, and why he's been able to at least be a little bit annoying in the early points of this engagement. But Nigma right now is still the Morphling waiting game. If Morphling can get to a point of E-Blade, Skadi, maybe the Axe having quick buy, like if he gets to these items, that's when suddenly the Morphling v Ursa matchup does kind of go tops and tails, change a little bit, because you can stop the Ursa from right-clicking with E-Blade. You can also surprise him, 100-0 him if he walks up high ground. But then also you actually you have kill threat, right? So again, this is a waiting game. The kill score doesn't really reflect how Nigma gets into the game.
Quick up to the side. A little bit missed time there with the use of the Astral and the Blink forward from 9, but could still work out. They've separated RMN from it's the Ravager, but he gets blown up by the Sonic Wave. 9 jumps in towards KuroKy. About 2 Mike drives with BKB TP. Snake keeps him with a charge. Another fight, and 9 picked up the triple kill.
I'm sorry. Did you say
RW will be able to break away. But another rough fight. Tundra, then now starting to break a lead ahead.
So quickly around the map, because whenever they see one moment when Nigma's not out of position, but at least walking slowly to a new area, it's going to force out the Ravager. It's going to force out this monkey to be, you know, to throw out his stun. And again, it's like I've said this so many times now, but it's so hard for Nigma to fight until they have hero like 20k worth, because they either need to crush the game or they need to have Orchids, Hexes, 4-stars, BKBs, Skadis, and so many items to feel confident. And Tundra, they are just punishing it with the amount of charges.
Immortality!
Maybe even more. They'll try with E-Blade combos. 9 BKB's box. Now it's set up with the Astral. They're ready to go for RMN. Micro taking the sprint to fall back. Snake charging in. They take out RMN. RTW will be able to burst down. Not but now RTW lowering the mana. He's got to retreat. Sanity's confronting it. RTW able to turn back into the quad to jump out. Kuruk's left behind. Double kill for 33. Nigma Galaxy 3 down yet again. Even see Skeeter there eyeing up that, chasing mind control back to the base. In the ropes to get the Aegis on Skeeter. Charlotte as well. And 26-14, that 5k lead. It's appeared, and it feels like it's only going to grow if we've learned anything from the last few Tundra games that we've seen. Once they get ahead, they know how to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, if you want me to be a little bit optimistic here, Morphling did gain 840 gold from that. So an Aegis fight where Morphling suddenly, has E-Blade already a point boost, like an ultimate orb, sorry. If you're Nigma right now, this is not a game where you're going, oh guys, Morphling got a kill, that's terrible. Like, they are honestly fighting for the scraps. If they can get off any fight where it's not a tier 3 engagement, where you're losing 2-3 heroes and suddenly catapult waves hitting tier 3, etc. Nigma should be happy. This is not the type of game where they're expecting to have a 5-man wipe. They're expecting not die and kill everyone. If they can just get a little bit of something from every small engagement, that's when they're maybe going to be able to turn this around.
He's going to get away with that. Quick jump in and a jump out.
KuroKy tried to go for the Atos onto the Spirit Breaker, but of course you Shadow Blade, you dodge the Atos. KuroKy coming a little bit late with the detection. But I think if they're ever connected in the back of there, they'd have probably both died, because how quick Skinner was to react, instantly TPing, then getting to the fight. But like this is kind of nice, right? Nigma can get into this rhythm of KuroKy just skipping waves, something that Core Monkey can as well.
Goes for the Boundless, but that's going to reveal his position.
Yeah. And it's why Spirit Breaker is so good against Fury and Monkey King, these split push. But if way for Monkey King to get off these kind of split pushing plays, it does enable.
Gonna see Snake King.
Dire's middle tower
This was under a ward. He started off, so RMN aware. heading his way.
Australia.
See if they're able to blow up on that. Sonic Wave comes out, the Rabbit will be in a play, and there's the ice from GH. Gets RMN back up to full HP.
Double damage.
7 for 9, but no further lockdown with the Ravage already used. So his life is saved, but again, Ravage popping that very long cooldown.
Radiant's courier
again, they
has been
highlighted
killed.
Spirit Breaker Shard. It enables the ability to even go on a Titan, to entertain the fact that you can jump this hero. Because of the break, showing your damage. It's a really good item.
Skeeter.
Spider. Wait. Yeah, this one, Spider legs.
It's 9-1 adjacent. Stunning. The Shiva, he's got the going on to GH. GH off to the side.
Dire's middle tower
Blink
is
up
under
on arm.
attack.
Now BKB on ILTW. So continued tools that
Dire's
will give Nigma
structures are
Galaxy much
fortified.
better fighting chance in these team fights. So ILTW will be pretty strong. They're 4-2-5. He's pretty much even with the Farmer Skeeter. He's still in a solid spot as the Morphin. They've just got to find this fight around the
Dire's
Ravage
middle tower
to allow him
is
to
under
pop
attack.
off. So it's going to be hard for the next minute. No Ravage and still the Aegis on Skeeter. We'll have to wait that out.
Dire's
Yeah,
middle
that's
tower
the
has
name of the
fallen.
game. When you're playing an Aegis, you kind of want to prolong it if possible. You keep pushing. If suddenly 2-3 heroes team to the side lane, Aegis is playing a bit more aggressive. That's when you go with engagement. But you know they're waiting a little bit. You see, kind of here, Tundra has just split up the entire map right now. You have 2 heroes bottom, and this is why they see us. They look for people try and split push. They might. Oh, quick 33 there.
Yeah, so find it. Trying to get ILTW in position on Tundra's half of the map.
RMN, there's an Earth.
Yeah, that's a standing there. Good. So what they go for here? Start up. Staking him with the charge bash. GH with the axe. Healing up ILTW back on the full. Good defensive Astral. But little time here for the Spirit Breaker, and Snaking's able to step out because of it. He'll survive. See if Skid still able to find a target. 20 seconds left on the Aegis to fight with. But his mind control. Be out back by the Suns and the Sprout. Jump forward. Let's turn it on the drop on the BKB into the trees. Another hill. GH gets out and drop back up to full HP. But it's been looking back. The bash come in. Mind control still goes down despite GH's best effort to keep him alive. And lose Kuro one at the tree line. The rest of Nigma Galaxy have to TP out.
And a perfectly placed break from
Dire's
Tundra as well,
bottom tower
putting
is under
that.
attack.
I've not seen such a
Beautiful.
out of 10.
Tron putting up the tower.
But not so long.
Dire's
there,
bottom
yeah.
tower has fallen.
Crumbling in his hands.
Actually, so
So yeah, now since these stickers, I kind of wonder what else there is to use.
Yeah.
There seems to be some
there's only like
very nice sprays in the
there's
game
only like
now.
15 or so out there, but I think I think sprays that actually involve the players.
Yes, they're the most.
Yeah, that's good. I think the cartoony ones, they're cool, but look, you know,
Just putting up someone's real face on the playing field is, you know.
put it on the steps and suddenly it's all, you know, oh, so good.
After that last little trade, it's now a comfortable 10k lead for Tundra. Nigma Galaxy, they're going to smoke up, try and fight into it. They have the Ravage. They've got to get the jump. They have got the blink on arm, and they've got good ways to start off the action.
Oh no, the good old Spirit Breaker charging on through, breaking the smoke. Tundra now should be able to back away from this area. You know, like you mentioned, there is no Aegis. They have the tools right now on Nigma to be able to take a fight, right? Like you've got Morphling with BKB and try and, you know, get himself into the engagement and get some, you know, some clicks off. But if Ursa ever locks on top of him, the fact that he has the Basher can easily eat through this hero. But again, it's who jumps who. Even though it's 11k to Tundra, the value of Morphling, the value of Titan with the Ravage, like you have to respect. Oh, there he is.
Beautiful, I love it. Well, there we go.
Radiant
They have-
are scanning.
Level 25 on 9. Having rather the good game 9.
Wayne definitely have a good game. But
He's been pretty hot recently.
like when he first kind of hit the pro scene and like consistency, especially like with Skidder and 9, it was always like how well do they perform under the pressure, right? And I think that was the thing that stopped them from jumping over the tiers. But the last year they have really become the best of themselves.
There is help for all.
Get the pick off on staking.
Pretty cool.
Turn into anything else. Ironman is charging over to the mid.
Just trying to skip the wave here. Realistically, if Nigma wants to try and go for a tier 2, they have the vision to support this.
Radiant's
They
bottom
can try and
tower
play
is
tier
under
2. I'd like
attack.
them to see what the high ground spot that Tundra has some type of vision. This is, oh, it's actually expiring, not too bad. But yeah, will Tundra look to defend?
Well, they are.
The buyback a bit better.
RTW's gone!
Was he morphing actually when he died?
I think he was starting to morph, right? It's just the damage was so intense there from that initiation of Tundra. He didn't stand a chance. Tower is defended.
You know, Nigma, in this type of game, any kill they get, they have to try and do something different, right? If they just AFK farm, they're gonna, you know, slip further and further behind. So I respect them doing it, but just the jump, the threat,
Bashes as well. Ski just in and
here you go,
assembles GH.
So he was agimorphing, or was it just? Yeah, he was. Oh, yeah, he was. Oh no!
No, he just wasn't able to morph at all.
Oh, devastating. Look at him, he's like, I got waffling.
Yeah, 9 with a smile on his face. I mean, as you would be, 17, 1 and 8. Having a beautiful game. Can't help but feel 4K lead in the way the last few moves have gone. This might be the part of the game where Nigma Galaxy fans might want to avert their gaze as they look ahead.
Nice control. You scout it out.
And gazing upon what's to come from Nigma Galaxy might not be pretty again in this game, as Tundra seems to be in all but full control right now.
Controlled aggression into the game, and they have done it so well. Like, don't forget, if we rewind like 15 minutes, they were diving tier 3s, but you know they haven't been back there since that point in the game. Oh, actually, it's good. It's kind of that point in the graph. Actually. Yeah. When it started going tons of ways, correlation of diving tier 4s and gaining gold was weirdly good, weirdly accurate.
A 9. Refresh on the cards next. They still need that fight, Nigma Galaxy. They need a perfect Ravage. They need RTW to be able to go to town. It just hasn't happened.
Dire's middle
They need like the perfect fight construct, which is Tundra without Aegis, to be very clear. Going into an area which Nigma has vision, then getting the Ravage into wave 4 E-Blade and blowing up the heroes. The issue with the E-Blade build is if you're not 100 to 0ing, the layered damage that you have separate to that is a Bloodfall on the Fury and right-click damage. You have to be very careful. You can see here, that's like a 3rd damage, right? So if RTW wastes the E-Blade, only puts us into a 3rd HP, the follow-up damage you have during that control will be fully removed by the fact that he's ethereal. So in Nigma, they have to be so careful with how they, if they're presented with a good engagement, they don't just try and throw everything at one time, because the damage isn't all the same type. At this point in the game, of course, you just pick up the gem. You know, you just run around the map, you start de-warding, close off the map, make you feel very uncomfortable.
Got the smoke. Sparta not really the hero.
That's a gem, that's what he did.
Alright, now he gets the cooldown off. I mean, but it's gonna go pretty big. Pretty much one hit to his army fully disappears. Armament doesn't stand a chance in the face of disaster. Skeeter tears them apart. They punch it into the trees. Slice them down with the Yule Center, but the Sonic Waves there bring the way down. Astral into the hammer. 4 dead. They might give it one more fight here, Nigma Galaxy, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if the end is nigh.
I will rise
As
and
mind
seize
control taken out, no buyback on any members of Nigma Galaxy. They're diving in. He walked back for this. Doesn't last long, his second life. As he's out, everybody had no buybacks. As up to the high ground they go. Tundra ready to do damage to the base. Fortification. Looks like the Galaxy might hold on for one more attempt at a fight, but they're down 30k and almost certainly at least one set of racks here, maybe more. We'll see how much Tundra want to push on.
You know, they're pushing mid. You see Spearbreaker charging like top to bot, getting all the creep waves. One of the key things about the heroes. But also, you think back at the start of that engagement, right? They're jumping farther. They get to like he's got the gem. Let's maybe get some resource to us. The amount of explosive damage that Tundra has is so scary. Pop out of nowhere can kill you 100 to 0. OD 50 out where can 100 is a Morphling, because if you get him inside the Astral, then you throw out the hammer, he doesn't have to focus on HP, he will just die. Of course, in this position, Morphling BKB for a gyro kill, so he has to use the BKB for the bigger kills. And yeah, so difficult, but Tundra plays so much of the map, but they're so quick to collapse.
RTW, he's got it with the BKB, turning the Ursa to try and get away. BKB comes to an end, 50 seconds until GH is out. Crow tries to get the Wukong's command going. It's going to get the line race by the Astral. That's about to sit there and kill the OD, but it loses life for the trade.
Are under attack.
Good to see the refresher quap there. Bring out 2 ultimates. This is most likely going to be the GGS crew. Throws out the Gluttony from the high ground on the trees.
Mega creeps out, 40k lead, snaking. Ready to maybe start diving the fountain. As out by the Ancient, they've got themselves GH. It's 42-17. This game is definitely sped up pretty quickly. It was not a bad start for Nigma Galaxy, but the end has kind of ended up as bad as the other games that we've seen so far. It's not been pretty. Tundra, complete domination from the mid game onwards, and no chance for Nigma Galaxy to make any sort of plays, as Tundra was just a step ahead in every single movement. And there it is, GG's call. Tundra will safely submit it to 0.
Tundra, it's looking like a well-oiled machine, right? Even when the game looks somewhat even, they understand that if they just